Hello, my name is Georgette Forney. Welcome to April of Healing the Shockwaves of Abortion. This month we are highlighting how abortion impacts our living children. I've dealt with this personally as I've had an abortion, and when our daughter was in 3rd grade, she accidentally found out about my abortion. She is now considered a surviving sibling of an aborted baby. As the co-founder of the Silent No More Awareness Campaign, this is one of the most common questions I talk to with both women and men. Should they tell their family, their spouses, their kids, their extended family, their parents about their abortion experience? My answer is always the same. Each person's circumstances are unique, and we need to carefully and prayerfully discern whether it will be helpful or harmful. One of the key questions I always recommend people ask themselves is, what's my motivation for telling someone? And we always recommend that if you are thinking about sharing your story publicly with the campaign, you must begin by telling your family members. We don't want somebody to find out on Facebook. So telling your family members is the first place that you're going to always want to start to be silent no more. How and when we should tell others is also a valid question to be considered. As Shockwaves is highlighting, our abortion experience impacts everyone we love and who loves us. Each person's response is going to be unique to their level of maturity, both spiritually as well as emotionally, as well as what their personality type is. The following video clips feature Monica and her daughter Renee, who is a surviving sibling of an aborted baby, and she's begun an outreach to other siblings because once she learned about her mother's abortion, she felt she needed help. First, Monica shares her experience in telling her kids, and then Renee shares what it was like to find out and how it is for her from her perspective.
For a long time I thought, nobody has to know, and I thought, well, nobody's going to know. I have a very large family, a lot of people I knew, and I just thought, nobody will ever know that this happened. And in a way, it seemed comforting. It was the bad thing I did, and only I have to live with it. But then I started thinking about the fact that I knew my child. I knew his name. And my children, they were very, very loving, very, very loving people, and they were very, very close. As siblings. And so I thought, they have a sibling and they don't know about this yet. And I knew that because of how they were, I knew that they would love their sibling, and I just thought that they had a right to know, because it's somebody in their life. It's somebody that, that they have a lot in common with. They share a mother with. And I thought, they really just have a right to know. And so I decided pretty early on that I wanted to tell them. I just waited till I thought that they were all old enough to hear it, because they had only heard from me, abortion is wrong. Abortion it's murder and this and that. And it's so it's kind of hard to all of a sudden come up and say, I had one, but they were, but I knew that I was going to tell them when the moment was right. And I went to I was at a retreat, and I spoke with a priest about doing this. And he said, God will tell you when the time is right. And when I got home, the time was right. I really felt strongly that I needed to tell them. And I did, and it was a very, very beautiful and God-filled moment. And as my daughter says, it brought us all closer together, and it really did. I mean, their reaction, I was very afraid of how they would react. I was afraid that they would be angry with me and never want to listen to me again because I was a hypocrite. But their reaction was very loving. They came and embraced me, and I cried, definitely, and it brought us together. It really did, because I had told my children always that I wanted to be honest with them about everything. If they had a question about anything, they could ask me. I had a secret from them, and it was a big secret, and I didn't feel right about it. So when I finally shared that secret with them, they knew me. They knew I wasn't perfect, because kids always look at their moms as, wow, yeah, they're up there. But I wanted them to see that I was not this I was not up there, but I made this terrible mistake, but God forgave me, and let's do something good with this. And they respected that. We've always, my children also, they have a very strong desire to help other people. And so this was another way that they could help, and they saw it as that. And they were also very happy to know they had a little brother, and they you know, they loved their little brother, and it's been nice. The date of his death, Valentine's Day, it was always a hard day for me for multiple reasons, missing my husband, and also knowing what I did on that day. But it became a day that we were going to celebrate in honor of Joey. And so, it's brought us closer. We're much closer now, and I'm very happy I'm very blessed that it went that way. Renee is someone, after I lost my husband, somebody who was teased at school about not having a father. She went through so much. She was teased and bullied. In fact, she was the reason I started homeschooling, because the school wouldn't do anything about it. And so I just wanted to, to help her out and to give her a good start. But so she's somebody who, you would just think, well, she's not going to want to get out there and do something like that. But there she is. I mean, she decided that, that there wasn't anything for siblings out there. She had this pain, and as she said, she's not really a crier, but she does, but she does have very deep emotions and things, and she expresses it through speaking with people, through her drawings, through her writing. But just to see how she, in that desire to wanting to help people, has started this thing on Facebook, and it started off very small, and I was supporting. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm sure maybe you'll get a couple people. And now her numbers are growing all the time. She's international. There's people, and it's just very beautiful to see these people coming, and really, I had no idea it was such an issue for siblings. Honestly, I was one of those people who just didn't know. I just thought, they would know, and they would say, oh, well, they would accept they had a brother, and that it would hurt, but that it would be something that would pass. But it really is, it is another person in their life. It really is somebody they lost. They have all been, they've been similar in that they've been very loving at the very beginning. They're not as, they're not out there like Renee is so much. They're kind of watching her do it, but they're supporting her. But they are very much into, they believe very strongly in the cause, the pro-life cause, and helping people, and they speak up when they get a chance. It's not quite their calling to do what Renee's done, but they definitely support her and support me in having spoken out, and now becoming more, at first I told them and we didn't tell anybody else, and then we slowly started telling more and more people. There are the people that, are disgusted. It's unforgivable, and so they are not very kind. But at the same time, they don't understand. They weren't in my situation, or any other woman who's had an abortion. You can't really understand unless you've been there. But then most of the people have been kind and loving. Most of the people have given me hugs and said, "Oh, we're sorry we weren't there for you." They feel bad that they didn't know that I was going through this, and they would have been more helpful, and that sort of thing. So it's been mostly that, mostly supportive. But there are the people, and there will always be the people who will be angry and will have unkind things to say. But that's, I think, anybody who wants to speak out, especially in your great organization, we all know that's going to happen, that there's, we have to be ready for that. But that's the way it is in any great cause. You always have the people who are going to be hurling insults, but you have to keep going, and you have to, because you know how important, what's at stake. Mm-hmm. Lives are at stake, all these little babies. And so, hopefully can make a difference.
Well, I think maybe if they can tell the siblings together, that would be helpful. And I really admire my mom's openness, because she had named the baby before she told us, and that really helped us to form a connection and to properly grieve him. But also, if you can, maybe to try to be open to questions. I mean, because that really helped us. I mean, some parents keep the date to themselves, and like for me, knowing the date has been so helpful. I'm really thankful. I know, and it can give the children an opportunity to speak out about sibling pain. People don't think about the pain of siblings, but it can give the siblings a chance to speak out. And you know what? A lot of them, I was not one of them, but a lot of them suspect already. Or some of them know, and their parents don't know they know. So I was glad that she just put it out there, And it wasn't something she was bragging about. Some parents do. Some parents have said it like, I should have aborted you too, or whatever. No, she was not bragging. She was very remorseful. And another thing that I admire is it shows, what? We're all human. And you can do something like that, but you can move on from it. Good can come from it. Abortion is a horrible thing, and I hate that anybody's been through it, but you can move on. You can use that pain that you felt and, help other people. And you can help the kids, even if they're not post-abortive themselves, because some siblings are, you can help them to learn to deal with their mistakes and their poor choices better. To move on, the guilt. Because I have felt guilty about other things, and then I think, what? Mom has been able to move on. And Mom has been a very, inspirational person in that. So, I mean, I still struggle, but I think that's one thing. It's like, what? You're human. And some parents are like, they're afraid that they'll just drop. That made me respect her more, And just, seriously, when she told me, it made me change my view and become more compassionate. And seriously, now I want to reach out and love to these parents, fathers included.
I want to thank Monica and Renee for sharing from their abortion experience. I also want to encourage you to check out the audio presentation under our research articles section on the website. There's a special audio clip from Dr. Philip Ney. And there are also booklets and additional information under our Healing Resources section that might be of help to you. Remember to share what you've learned here today, and thank you.